This is all going to be a bioterror return of Ultron, where he's going to release the Ultron virus.
Mysterio's coming back, and he's going to sort of use himself as a martyr to create this whole media narrative against Spider-Man.
What if Hela's next move is to target the new Asgard and strike a blow in Thor's heart?
These fjords have a new lord.
This is Eric in Myrtle Beach in 2007.
Guys, welcome back to New Rockstars. This is Rogue Theory. I am Filup Molina, and we are talking about how does any villain ever really go away? Evidently not.
Nope.
Welcome back, Tommy.
Yay!
Guys, no, we're going to talk about our favorite MCU villains and how they might be back in the MCU. And that's not even crazy because the MCU does bring villains back. Also back with us, Erik Voss.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's like
Hi,
you
Eric.
work here.
It's like it do.
Thank you so much, Tommy, filling in last week.
It was
Tommy
my
Bechtold.
absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I
and
really enjoyed not watching that episode.
I'm glad you didn't watch because we spilled the tea on you, my friend.
Ooh, well
Ooh.
now that sounds hot and scalding. And then Post Malone over here, the show
nice.
graphic,
Don't start
real
now.
quick. Angelica Trae. So the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier came out, and it shows that Baron Zemo is back, which is great because Baron Zemo has way more potential, especially if they pick up the storylines from the comics. So we also know that Loki is getting his own show, so Loki's also back. We've also seen a trailer recently that shows Vulture is also back. And then just in general, there's all these villains that we have we never saw anybody's brains get blown out, basically, right?
yeah.
Which I'm waiting, Mickey. So, guys, I want to know previous MCU villains that we do not have confirmation that are coming back. I want to know how they will come back anyway. I want to know what movie they're coming back in, and I want to know how they come back.
I'll start
Great.
because right now we are still living in an age, Philip. Living in an age.
Of Aquarius?
An age of Ultron. I'm still there.
Oh.
And Avengers to Age of Ultron was actually more like 2.5 weeks of Ultron. I've had chest colds that have lasted longer than the Age of Ultron.
You should get that checked out, especially now.
nope.
Especially now, Tommy.
The doctors say all the black marks on my lungs are good. They're fighting each other and keeping me alive. So, anyway, I think that Ultron, even though Vision did technically him at the end of Avengers 2, Electric Boogaloo, he's still alive. I think his cute little head just floated back down to Earth, and we saw Peter Parker
We saw a head.
pick up the Ultron head with the red eyes, which, as we know, is the symbol that Ultron is inside that particular drone or type of robotic body. I believe that is currently either in a dormant state, is the essence of Ultron. So Ultron will return and maybe move to a different host, whether it's a computer host or possibly a human host. Perhaps Wyatt Russell's character in Falcon and Winter Soldier will have some sort of implant.
Wait, hold on. You're going real fast.
Yes.
Let's slow this down. So you're saying U.S. agent,
Yes.
who we have rough confirmation, we've done a couple of videos on this, is going to be on Falcon and Winter Soldier, potentially as an alternate person who might get the shield.
Yes.
You're saying is secretly being controlled by
Ultron.
Ultron,
In order to release a nanovirus.
the Ultron virus.
The Ultron virus. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes. Because
Nice. There's a rogie already right
Thank
there.
you. Thank you. We were promised an age of Ultron.
We were
a
promised.
world where we live
Yeah.
with Ultrons
Angelica,
amongst us.
how long is an age?
I was just about to ask.
Well, you're not gonna
I
tell
would-
us.
Okay. If I were to guess, an age is about 10 years, like a decade.
Like I went through my.
I think it might be 1,000 years. I'm not
a
sure.
thousand? Is that actually like
No, that's an
legitimately?
era.
what
I
it
went
is?
through my earring
Era.
age when I had diamond cubic zirconia studs through my ears and hoops in my
Bring it
cartilage.
back.
And I might for another age. And that was from age 17 to 23. I caught a look in the mirror one day and I said, "You look like an asshole." So
Once?
I took them out.
In 5 years? Or 6
well,
years?
I live by vampire rules. More on that later.
Vampires rule.
That's it. I live by 2 rules. Always be vamping and vampires rule.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway, so I think that, this is all going to be a bioterror return of Ultron, where he's going to release the Ultron virus.
Is it going to be, okay, is it going to be like this, you were kind of saying like mind control, so like drones of him, kind of like what he had in Age of Ultron, but those are now people?
And
Or,
I think I think the nanotech will infect
that's what I was going to say,
people
or is it going to be
and
that,
use
because that's
mind
in the
control.
comics too, where
Yes.
they also not only can control their mind, but they actually physically start to change into kind of robot parts.
Oh, like in Superman 3.
Yes, exactly like Superman 3, a movie we all have seen many times and think about often.
I watched that as a kid. It haunted me.
Yes.
I thought Superman movies were horror.
He's going to come back in Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Okay.
and then he's going to end up. I mean, he could.
So
be,
he's more than just the virus. The guy comes back.
I think we're going to end up. He's going to use the mind control to rebuild a body, like a host for him, like altered carbon. Like he uses that as a skin, and then he can kind of be removed and put into other
interesting.
hosts, and like if the
So it used to be robot
that.
drones. Now it's like flesh drones.
flesh drones.
Oh, and then they just like keep moving who the main host is.
Yes.
Remember that movie with Denzel Washington?
Oh,
Remember
Fallen.
the Titans?
Training
Oh,
Day?
yeah,
Yes.
that one. Yeah, Fallen.
where you just touch.
But yeah, and it would just pass. That trailer was so cool. Where it was just
Time
passing
is
from
on my
person to
side. Is that
person.
what they always were singing?
Yeah,
Where
maybe,
they
I
would
think
touch,
so.
and then John Goodman got it at the end. Spoiler alert: John Goodman can always get it in the end.
He's a bottom?
He might be a switch hitter. I don't know.
tell
He
you-
can flip flop.
He's a good
So-
man. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay, one, flesh drone sounds disgusting.
Oh yeah. Well, go to my site, fleshdrones.com.
They don't fly well.
Cut it up. Cut it all out. My grandma watches these. Speaking of
So-
bad guys you can't kill, cut it out. Cut it out
And
again.
flesh drones just walking the hallways.
Yeah, so these flesh drones are turning into robots, or they're infected.
No. Well, what Filup was companioning to my thing was that in the comics, when they get the Ultron virus, they begin to start having robot parts.
Okay.
But they kind of look like
They start to-
silvery.
So
I
it's like the
guess.
Superman
infection.
3.
Yeah. So it's like yes. Yeah, but we've seen that used in movies before, where like the person gets the virus and their skin gets kind of like even District 9 kind of had an element of that. They're
Yeah,
not-
Yeah.
exactly.
Because you could also infect them with the nano bots and then have like a virus in there that's controlling them, that's infecting the software. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
you
adding
can
that as
hijack
well.
Tony
Like-
Stark's
like a
computer
nanotech
virus.
that
Ooh.
like is like little microscopic bots.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
It goes in your
Yes.
blood and it turns you into Ultron.
That is the same tech.
Yes.
Ultron is Tony Stark's tech, right? So then,
Guys,
then
I
nanotech.
think we're all talking about the same thing, and that's these tiny little nanotech dancing in unison into someone's body in a poison tango.
Tommy, your black lungs are clearly running out of air, so I'm just gonna give you another Rogie and save your life.
I love this idea.
Yeah,
Flesh
I do
drones.
actually really
Poison
like.
Tango
Thanks,
This
guys.
is what it should be called too.
Yes. Oh my
But
God,
also, I
Poison
really
Tango.
like, hopefully this doesn't mess up any of your guys' theories. I really like when a villain comes back in a new way. And it's not just take two on the exact same thing. So Ultron coming back in virus form and a combination of computer virus but affecting actual human beings. Mind control but on mass. That's kind of interesting. All right, who's next?
I'm thinking I'll go next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll allow
Okay.
it.
So everyone remembers Spider-Man Far From Home, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So Mysterio, maybe he's still around.
Yeah,
no
he's
one's
gotta
ever
still be alive.
believed that.
Shit.
Yes.
The conviction with which you
So-
just delivered your thesis.
So I'm thinking.
You earned your Rogie!
Heck yeah.
Mysterio's coming back.
Thank you. Yes, Mysterio's coming back, and he's going to sort of use himself as a martyr to create this whole media narrative against Spider-Man, and I guess it's essentially kind of like cyberbullying.
That's what he
him.
started,
like
right?
cyberbullying.
Yeah.
He started this idea, though, that he is the martyr. Spider-Man has killed me.
Yeah.
Now avenge me, world, or something. So you're taking the post-credit scene.
And pushing it further because he's like the master. Mysterio is the master of media manipulation.
Hell yeah.
So did he like?
Many M's.
So did he like deep fake himself in that video? Was it like someone not? Was it a different person that looked like him that got
shot
in the head?
He could definitely do that.
Deep
He's
fake
also the
technology.
master of illusions.
Yeah, there's like
you're
YouTubers
right.
that could pull this off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
So
So what's his plan then?
his plan is he's going to bully Spider-Man out of just like, I guess, out of the media spotlight. Like the public is going to turn against him, essentially by Mysterio creating this narrative, and maybe start setting some stuff up for like Sinister Six.
Well,
yeah.
wait, you can't just casually throw maybe Sinister Six
Well,
of
you
five
know,
other
it's
characters
an
are in there.
overthink
Don't try to
leads-
give her your Rogie, Tommy.
She said this. The
need that one to
Sinister
breathe.
Six word.
So you are saying that he gets the public to turn on Spider-Man. Maybe he does that in first act even,
Yeah.
since we already started that with the post-credit scene. Then we deal with the Sinister Six.
Yeah, because if he turns the public on Spider-Man, it's sort of turning the public against Avengers and all of them. So
Oh,
now it's going to be
interesting.
setting up for the whole Sinister Six as maybe like a new hero better than the Avengers, right?
Oh, they're revealed as good guys, a good
Yeah.
good guy team, the same way Mysterio pretended to be.
And he's just going to completely do this, Mysterio will, through manipulation of the media.
Real quick, who's one other person on your Sinister Six team?
Jason Momoa as Kraven the Hunter.
As himself. Oh, as Kraven the
Himself?
Hunter.
Yeah, he could be himself. He could play, all of the things.
As Kraven the Hunter. Oh, I saw this fan art recently. If you want to put that up on screen. No, that's Post Malone again. But still, Post Malone as Kraven the Hunter. Yeah. It took some assisting, so you can assistant to your rogie of a quarter rogie right there.
Okay.
Cute little guy.
All right. It's a
right.
sweet little package you got there, Tommy.
Thanks, bro.
What?
You called it sweet.
Savory is what I
package,
meant.
too.
Yeah,
Very umami.
I also called it little. No one's
He said
acknowledging
package too,
did.
so.
Eric, Phil, our
concerning.
Boyd.
Okay, you got it. The villain that I missed the most, or one of the villains that I think didn't get her proper due, was Hela. I think Kate Blanchett was incredible in Thor Ragnarok, and Surtur brought her
love that
down.
character.
And I feel like Taika Waititi did a really good job with that movie, but didn't really give Hela her true potential as someone who could truly wreak havoc. She basically just took over Asgard, and it was shortly after destroyed, so she never really got her reign.
I mean, she did kill all of the supporting cast of that movie in like 5 minutes.
Who remembers any of them?
Cut
Lady
that out.
Sif
Cut that
wasn't
out.
even
Cut
there.
that out. Cut that out. Yeah, she wasn't. She was on Blind Spot on NBC.
So, what I'm thinking, we have Thor Love and Thunder coming back, right? Taika Waititi is going to be directing
Hell
it,
yeah.
and it's a big mystery what the story is going to be, other than Jane Foster is going to be the female Thor. What happened when Surtur struck his huge sword through Asgard and destroyed it?
Destroyed the whole planet, right?
He destroys the whole thing, but like, where does Hela go? Like, there's kind of a flash of green when she goes down. She kind of gets swiped off a frame, but like, she's a god, a goddess of death. Like, she should have been able to withstand that blow. Well, like when they find Thor at the beginning of Infinity War, he's just kind of floating through space, still able to breathe. So Hela
And breed.
and breed. Yes, sir.
Are you sure about that?
Unfortunately,
He's able to burrito
Call me
himself.
Thor. We've got to work some stuff out about Aaron.
Yeah. When I think what we're going to see in Thor: Love and Thunder is Hela reincarnated in hell, licking her wounds.
Hel.
Hel, plotting her next move, her dominion of death, where we saw her at the beginning of Thor Ragnarok, and she's going to be plotting her next move. But where is Asgard now? Well, Asgard's not a place; it's a people.
It's a frame of mind.
It's a people, and it is in Tonsberg, Norway. There's a new Asgard there.
Yeah.
Valkyrie is now queen of that place.
Oh, yeah.
So what if Hela's next move is to target the new Asgard and strike a blow in Thor's heart?
Ooh.
And what hurts him the most is if you attack Midgard, you attack Earth. That's where Jane Foster is. And maybe that's what causes Jane Foster to rally up. But what is Hela's new form, right? So is it just going to be Kate Blanchett in her antler form again?
I hope
Yes,
so.
please.
I'd be okay with that.
Thanks,
here
Eric.
for
Great
it.
idea. I don't know why you
That's
said
all we
just.
want.
We all love it.
Hell
We
no,
love
Eric.
it.
It's got to be something else.
Well, we do know that like the Marvel VFX guys and the artists have this whole thing from Norse mythology and from the Thor comics of the Midgard serpent. And it seems like one of these
There's
crazy things.
images of this?
There's images from this. There's art from Infinity War where originally Thor was going to pull Stormbreaker from the heart of the Midgard serpent corpse. But clearly they want to bring in this Midgard serpent. That's something that the Infinity War writers wanted. And you can imagine Taika Waititi looking at the art of their, like, here's what you have available for Thor Love and Thunder. He's like, that please. Yes. I want that giant, huge serpent. What if Hela takes the form of the Midgard serpent, and you have Kate Blanchett's voice ringing out Smog style from the Midgard
hold
serpent
on.
as it attacks Norway.
Eric, you already have one rogie because I'm down with Hela coming back. I really like the idea of her attacking New Asgard. I think that sets up a nice like redemption for the Asgardians who, as right now, are refugees, but they're supposed to be like badass warriors too. Especially it gives Valkyrie a moment to have a badass hot lady fight. But in order to get another rogie here, I need to see you embody this snake that sounds like Kate Blanchett,
Sure.
but wiggles like well, like we'll see, I guess.
On the table.
Do I have to rip Stormbreaker from his heart?
Do it. Act it out.
These fjords have a new lord. Ooh, smash, rub, smash, and rub.
Wow.
And this is your
Boulders
Kate
collapsing.
Blanchett impression?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What? Snakes don't have legs.
This snake
Why are you stomping?
Okay.
I feel like this is just what happens when Eric has his hands tied behind his back. This is just Eric in Myrtle Beach in 2007.
Eric, how we probably won't use this. How ridiculous is it that we have enough of the same like mind on some of this stuff that we are both referencing Homer as a sperm cell in the living room, acting it out.
And I think you were trying to get me to do my Smog impression. We played a game of charades one time where I had to try to communicate Benedict Cumberbatch's mocap Smog performance.
God.
But only with one motion.
By just going like, and people had no idea what I was doing. But really what I was doing, I was foreshadowing my own future performance here on Rogue
Yes.
Theory.
Wow.
Blanchett as Midgard Serpent. What's going to bring her down is Lady Sif. She's coming back in this one. It's going to be Valkyrie, Jane Foster, Lady Sif, all on Kate Blanchett as a Midgard Serpent.
That's hot as hell. You get two big old roguies, and Thor just watches over Aaron,
Well,
our
I think
son.
he's fist fighting Christian Bale as Gore, the God Butcher, on a cliff nearby.
Oh, cool.
That's
I
what
also
I was.
forgot that Kate Blanchett was a snake in the thing you just said. So in my head, it was hotter until I remembered one of them is a snake.
She's a snake.
Snakes can
Yeah.
be sexy.
So does the serpent have the headgear though?
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Snake antlers.
Yes.
Snantlers.
Snantlers. And she's going to sprout snake arms just to do the antler brush back, and then they'll recoil back inside of her snake body.
Ooh,
Cute.
let's hear him back in the form of a tweet.
Heads up at Delta Airlines. I flew one of your planes today and it was delayed. And the miracle of flight does not withstand my inconvenience of being 2 hours late to where I was going, even though if I went by wagon, it would take me 3 days. So Delta, I want a refund, I want an apology, and I want the head of Florence, the flight attendant, at my door tomorrow, Age of Ultron.
All right, great. I think everyone followed that. I thought you could say the head of either Florence Henderson or Florence and the Machine.
Her head is just ghost guts now.
You went with plane, and I was thinking snake still.
Oh, snakes on a plane.
But yeah, that wasn't your theory. So.
Angelica.
Okay, Mysterio is back as a master of media manipulation. Hashtag woke. Peter Parker is canceled.
Yeah, that
There you
actually
go.
is probably a thing that has trended
Hashtag
at some
cancel
point.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And Eric?
Okay, my tweet is a clapback to a Bernie bro who says that Elizabeth Warren is a snake, and instead underneath it is Hela clapping back and saying, "You think you know snakes? Wait till I attack Tonsberg, Norway's fjords in my giant Midgard serpent body."
Wow.
But then people still refuse to elect a
I don't know, I
female president.
reported it.
And she
Yes.
doesn't get
Oh, well,
anything.
that's the context given.
Great. I like all of these. I'm going to keep your point total stable because I have to give one some acknowledgement to somebody else. This whole idea came from our Discord. We have a Rogue Theory channel on Discord, and it came up on there about villains coming back. And I just want to share with you guys what our favorite Rogue Theory was from Carol BDC Diva on Discord. Carol, she's really active on there. Her thing is it's got to be Killmonger that comes back, which is my favorite answer, and I'm glad none of you took it. All right.
Killmonger.
Nope, too late.
Yeah, too late. Yeah, you
Beat
can't.
him over the head with this whole stack. All right. So she's saying, what if T'Challa eventually gave in to and told Shuri try to save him? Endgame actually proved that Wakanda needed to be involved in the rest of the world, which is what Killmonger wanted anyway. So T'Challa can't stay mad at him for something that he ended up being right about. Also, that he has been exposed to the herb from Black Panther too, so he also maybe has a little bit of longevity, or he could be exposed to it. And then also, Shuri has a lab that was good enough to save Vision and restore Bucky, and specifically not be used on War Machine.
Yeah. But they gave it to Martin Freeman's character too. He had a serious injury.
But she has this amazing lab, so she could have saved Killmonger, put him in stasis, and then Shuri, just to be safe, puts a neurochip inside of Killmonger just to try to limit him. And that actually is what makes Killmonger still feel like he's chained and actually makes him turn on them even though they brought him back.
Cool.
And then just somebody else, I just thought it was cool, had the idea that he actually does not get saved by them, but rather he is left in the sea and is discovered by Namor. And Namor is the one who not only brings him back, but he now gives him super aquatic abilities. and this is the foreshadowed Society of the Earthquakes Under the Sea that is referenced in Endgame.
That's right,
And
yeah.
that actually Killmonger now comes back as this very powerful force that has all kinds of powers, not just this human force. And it's an introduction of Namor, which would be super cool.
Love
too.
it. Yeah.
Right.
So that goes over there. That runs some Rogie points on our Discord, and if you are a patron, you get our link to our Discord. And there's people are playing Rogue Theory on there, and now it's inspiring this whole episode. So go on there and fight Carol for the throne.
Yes.
She won't give it up easily, though.
We're coming for you, Carol.
Yeah, you can also play the game here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, Carol. You as is, at ease, as is. Cut it all out. Never mind, Carol. You're good in
cheese.
my book. Chuck E. Cheese.
We didn't cut any of that out, guys. All right, moving on. Did you guys, any of you watch Invisible Man?
Yes. So
it was
good.
surprisingly good. It was really
Amazing.
solid. Tommy, wake up.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Oh, are you?
I thought I turned invisible.
Yeah. Guys, it is a return to the classic Universal monsters. And, there's some Easter eggs in the movie that show you, like, what the Invisible Man story has been done before. But the biggest difference in it is that they actually flipped the perspective on this film. They made it about the victim of the Invisible Man. It's through her perspective the entire movie. And then they kind of layered this kind of more modern issue over it about kind of abusive relationships and kind of this stalker culture a
Gaslighting.
bit. Gaslighting people. People feeling like they're entitled to relationships, which is kind of the incel thing a little bit. But all that stuff is there, and it is channeled through the lens of a monster film, and I think that's why it works so well on both levels. So there was going to be the Dark Universe. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Where it was going to have like the Mummy and Frankenstein's monster and a Dracula movie. And then Tom Cruise's Mummy came out and killed the
Scared
whole
away the franchise.
idea. Yeah, it was too spooky. Tom Cruise, I really like him sometimes. But
I just
he
don't
killed
like him
that.
as a mummy.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
it,
But I like
honestly.
him as a mommy.
I want you.
Ooh.
So here's the rumor here. They actually are gonna kind of bring back the energy of bringing these characters on, but maybe it might be a little bit more like the DC approach of, you know what, these movies don't have to be connected, so I don't need to hear team up ideas, which is what they were headed toward. Now they're doing one at a time, but it might all be through this kind of Jordan Peele twisted lens kind of vibe that Blumhouse is inspiring.
So they're all in the same universe, but they're not working in Congress with each other.
Potentially, but a little bit more like a Black Mirror episode version. So it's actually about something a little bit else. So I want to hear from you guys, these classic movie monster villains. They don't necessarily have to stay villains, that are the universal ones, coming back in some modern way, a new version of telling these stories. Spook me up.
All right, I'm going to take Frankenstein. Classically, the story of, Frankenstein was the scientist. We know Frankenstein's monster was the actual monster. And it was this kind of philosophical statement about what's the difference between a monster and a man, and are men the real monsters? And he was made of organic tissue that was reanimated from stolen, harvested body parts from criminals, and was created to be this monster who was afraid of fire, classically. But like he committed murder, but by the end of it, he was just kind of like this brilliant creature who believes that he's kind of a Superman more than the normal mortal man. But what I want to do is let's make Frankenstein an analogy for criminal justice corruption. All right. So what if we follow the story of this corrupt cop? Not all cops are bad, but every once in a while, you get a bad one who does some really horrible
95%.
things. Yes. What if you have the story of this cop who has shot someone who he shouldn't have, and he's got a problem of like he's got some prejudices and some bias, but in the shootout, he gets critically injured, and we're in this kind of like RoboCop scenario where like we can save him, but we have to strip away some of his humanity. The way they save him is by getting harvested organs and body parts from former people who were on death row, who were incarcerated. They take their body parts and they use those body parts to rebuild him.
Which this would make sense in the sense that if he needs multiple organs very quickly, it's not going to be through the traditional national medical system where he's on a list or something. If it's urgent and fast, it's some sort of weird black market kind of thing.
Dark web.
He's in with the warden, and he's able to get these body parts of people he's put behind bars through some kind of corrupt things. Maybe they were falsely accused, or maybe they were put away for too long. And then
there's probably a whole system system that exists that is in real life, there probably is something with what do they do with all the organs of the people on death row when they kill them?
They donate them to science. They have cadavers. They
And
run
they probably
drug
save the
tests.
lives of the rich.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
So that's what this guy is now. He's this compromised soul and this shattered soul who is now having the souls of the people he put away that are haunting him through his different body parts, and he's living this tortured existence now, and it's in his perspective of this like haunted person. He's not a good guy. He's not someone we relate with as a protagonist. He's living this tortured existence, and maybe it's the family members of people he's killed who it's from their perspective, and it's shifting back and forth, and he's now the monster. But it's like the way that like we don't necessarily sympathize him, but like it's inside the mind, and it's kind of the lesson he's learning of the life he lived and whether it was a good one.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he's afraid of gunfire.
Ooh.
Ooh, everyone.
Bringing the
Ooh.
fire. That's cool. So it's like a social commentary about the prison system, but also maybe healthcare a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, right. He's not. He had the
black market
What he
part?
has to go through in order to get organs. I mean, Bernie Sanders said it: an organ for every American.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I wouldn't be alive today without the organs of 18 brave individuals. Thank you, organ family.
Just the same liver. Just you keep having to replace new liver, 18
Yeah.
times
And I like to
over.
get a new heart every 3 years just so I can feel different things.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. That's deep and dark. I have a question though for you, Eric.
Yeah.
Is Frankenstein a zombie? Or the monster? Frankenstein's monster, is he a zombie?
I don't know if it'd be fair to call him a zombie, because zombie mythology is specific to. I don't think you see a lot of body parts being stitched together in zombie mythology. It's more
you
like
could.
there's a
He's
virus
reanimated dead
that
flesh.
reanimates from like biological means, whereas Frankenstein's mythology is he stitched together a body that was not there beforehand and used lightning to
Power,
animate
yeah.
him.
Well, so the maybe helpful answer is, does his heart beat?
Yes. And
Okay, so he is revived, which I was revived. I died once, true story, and I was resuscitated. So he is as much a zombie as I am.
I'm glad you're back.
I think Frankenstein's monster is a zombie. I think he classifies. It's one of the first zombies.
I think he's
Angelica,
definitely
you
a
got
zaddy.
Eric got a Rogie for that. 'Cause I actually really liked it. Angelica, you got a Rogie for clearly asking a question because you had your own answer that you wanted to inject into the
I
conversation.
think we call that leading
I
in the
just
criminal
thought of
justice
it.
system.
I feel like there could be a really big discussion here. So I was like,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Eric. Do you
it to
think
Twitter.
that Frankenstein wears a size 36, 32 jean?
I don't
Yes.
think they had denim back
Yes.
in the late 19th
But
century.
okay, then a pant. Yes?
Yeah.
The answer is yes?
36, 36.
Rogue me.
Oh, because you brought something up that you sure. Yeah,
you can't
sure.
bully
gotta-
him in a roguing you.
He's got a quarter Rogie.
Yeah.
I didn't
It
feel
worked.
bullied. I feel seen. I do love it, actually. I do like
do
Frankenstein being built by the parts of essentially who he's tortured and it now tortures him for a
Yeah.
tortured existence.
Yeah.
And he can't kill himself. He doesn't die. So there's
'Cause
no
the
way out.
hand is fighting him.
All right. Who's next?
Speaking of scientists, I've
Who
got a
was?
theory here. Okay, so I'm thinking, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
I do know him.
Do we?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Classic. So what if this was a whole story, maybe like a scientist was studying like the water and the effects of the environment, like pollution?
Sure.
You know, we have like oil spills, people dumping
Yes.
stuff into our
Al Gore.
waters. Okay, so what if there was a scientist in this story and they're studying the waters and they get so close to all of these pollutants that they start to, I don't know, like oil and all the trash and stuff starts to affect the scientist and they turn into the creature of the Black Lagoon.
Whoa.
So
And they like try to kill humanity, you know?
it's
Because-
like the Joker origin, but he falls into a vat of shit and trash and garbage and oil.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's
Yeah.
like my origin.
Yeah. Well, that's how you were conceived, at least. So give me what's his goal? This creature of the Black Lagoon. Is the Black Lagoon the oil?
So because okay, because the creature, I mean, it could be oil.
Fine.
It's
No,
like an
it's fine. It
amalgam
was
of
stupid.
things. Well, like, so I'm thinking maybe there's like a tie. So this is a scientist very close to studying the waters, the pollutants, the effects that humanity is having on these waters and the environment. And slowly these pollutants start to, pollute their mind.
Ooh.
Yeah, make it all metaphorical too. And so they, maybe there's some level of like insanity, and this creature starts to attack humans to fight back
Maybe
basically against what they've
some
done to
big
the environment.
executives, some oil executives, some people who've been dumping in rivers.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
No, that is very cool. Also, just
Okay.
like a man turning into a beast. It's kind of a Swamp Thing thing.
Yeah.
And Swamp Thing was great.
But it's a
And got
whole
canceled.
But it's a whole commentary around the environment and
Yes,
pollution.
yes, and we need more of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
An important message.
From
An important message.
Can the creature be
This
Greta?
movie will be Greta Thunberg?
Yeah.
Thunberg? Thundercat?
She's getting revenge on everyone who
Thunderbolt.
polluted.
Greta Thunberg.
I haven't decided
Has those old
how I want the
pollutants
scientists
shaking
to be
in their
yet.
boots.
make it a woman. Just sounds interesting. Just a woman in a pile of trash is my thing. Tommy, let's go for it.
Yeah, lady trash piles.
No, don't add to that.
Dot
Go do
com.
your thing.
Oh, sorry.
Stop making us buy domains.
First of all, those were really well thought out ideas.
Thanks.
To contrast that, let me now present. Mine is a spin on the classic vampire tale, Dragula.
Dragula.
Trucula.
Dragula.
Dracula, but in this case, it surrounds a late teenage boy who is becomes a massive fan of this influencer who's like a Dan Blazarian helicopter speedboat,
We went to college with Dan Bilzerian.
guns, cash, ladies type influencer. And what we find out is that this Dan Blazarian proxy is a bit of a vampire, is a Dracula character. He's an immortal,
yeah, that
but
works.
instead of blood, influence, clout. Clout is blood, influence is blood, cryptocurrency is blood for him. You know, he just fuels off of the economics of being an influencer, and he uses his platform to create the same way Dracula uses mind control to get to achieve his goals. He uses his platform, streaming, Instagram, social media, to create a army of loyal followers who will do whatever he wants.
I love it.
I know that you think that's not well thought out, but let me paint a quick picture for you of the Instagram husband, right? The famous role of there's all these hot
Yes.
girls on Instagram, all these carefully made up shots, and then they usually have just their husband taking it. These women are gaining this amazing, flashy, eternal life in these pictures while draining the lives of
Yes.
these husbands who are supposed to just be enjoying their vacation.
Exactly what I'm
Marsha.
talking
And-
about.
yeah.
Yes.
That's a very interesting take on it. And then he also can't go out in the sun.
You know, I haven't decided if my take on Dracula is sun resistant or if he's just fun persistent.
That's a rogie.
And he can fly. He can fly whenever he wants, just like Dracula, because he's got a private jet.
Ooh.
And lighting is a part of it. Like, they can't go out in bad lighting. They're like, the lighting has
Oh
to be
yeah,
perfect.
exactly. It's
They
a
start to
Instagram
burn if the lighting's
thing.
bad. Like,
I think we should stop talking about this and start writing this.
Yeah.
Tommy,
It's too real.
that's another rogie for 25% of the franchise.
Yes.
That's
That's a deal. Ironclad.
All right, I want to hear all of these in a tweet.
Okay.
Okay, Frankenstein is a crooked cop made up of the dead body parts of the people he put away, and he'll never, ever sleep again.
Oh gosh.
Drax back, and this time it's about the cloud. Influence, more like sinfluence.
And then let's hear this last sludge person. tweet.
Sludge person. Okay. The environment fights back when pollution starts to pollute the mind. Creature the Black Lagoon returns.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice and concise.
Thank
Great.
you.
You had to rhyme your own compliment. Guys, these are really good. Rogue questions.
Great.
Hey.
All right. Guys, in The Invisible Man, the lead character battles her invisible ex. What would you say to scare off your invisible ex?
I want to get back together.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Solid. That's a rogie.
I have recently started following some Instagram models.
Sure.
It would scare them away.
Oh, wait. I just understood. You meant following.
Yeah. I've recently been following.
Tracking.
Get out of here! Get out of here! I will tell the story on next episode of Big Question. You know what story I'm talking about.
It's a ghost?
She's my invisible ex. She's
Yeah.
following.
Oh,
me.
right. You were pointing up.
I don't know.
She's in the
sitting on
rafters.
she's sitting on a
Cirque du Soleil.
She's
That's right.
6'9".
She was a Cirque du Soleil performer. Guys, new pictures of the Batmobile for the upcoming Batman movie just came out.
Say
This was
nude
great.
pictures
Nude
of
pictures
the
of the
Batmobile?
Batmobile is not wearing anything, and I fucking love this picture, actually. It's really cool. Give me your best impression of what the new Batmobile is going to sound like.
Knight Rider.
Dark
Mr.
Knight Rider.
Matthews.
Ba-da, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And that's the sound of the engine?
Yeah.
Just as it's going.
Yeah.
What if it just did like a series of like tire squeals that sounded like the Batman theme? So like, like like doo 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 skirt doo 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 like I don't know, something like that. Like skirt skirt yeah, something like that.
Guys, a family had their iPhone returned to them 2 months after dropping it in a lagoon at Disney World, and it still worked. Ad for Apple. What Disney character was most likely to sneak a nude photo onto that phone?
Sebastian the Crab, because he's under the sea, and darling, it's better down where it's wetter.
It is better where it's wetter. I was gonna say Donald Duck because he's never wearing pants.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, so we'll do a Peter Pan crocodile. Yeah, one of those crocs.
TikTok.
Croc cock.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar.
TikTok. Crock cock.
That's gonna be on Tommy Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Toon is a runaway from
Great.
That Ed Amigos
I
album.
didn't like the imagery in my head that went through that, so
Okay.
I'm not rewarding any Rogies for that. So let's do a Rogie total.
4.
4 1/4.
3 and is that's quarter? Okay.
All right, so our winner, hey, it's Tommy. Tommy doesn't usually win.
Tommy,
when
too.
Yay.
but this is because you were going away for
Oh, thank you.
a while. You didn't know that until just now.
Goodbye.
That's Tommy. Philip and Tommy for us episode have to trade shirts. All right. Well, we'll be right back.
12 seconds later.
You actually look pretty good. I'm gonna
Thanks.
say, let's give it up for
Tommy
Tommy.
looks
Looking
great.
pretty good.
Thank you.
We look exactly the same in it, guys.
You look great as well. You look like Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's touching my knees easily.
Yeah, it's a tall.
Yeah,
And a
we're 8
big.
feet tall. Eric, real quick, what's going on the channel?
We have a really, really exciting episode of The Big Question coming out this week that's going to deal with the question of what was like the creepy, dark storyline that they had to write out of Falcon Winter Soldier, and was it connected to coronavirus?
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then we can find you at Erik Voss.
Of course. You always find me
everywhere.
Everywhere. And
Yeah.
here at New Rockstars and on Discord.
Yeah, and walking the streets of Burbank at night. Weeping
Chipotle,
and screaming.
probably.
Yeah. Tommy?
You can find me at Tommy Bechtold, and you can find me in Arizona at Dodgers spring training this weekend.
Also, congratulations, Tommy, the best extra
Thank you.
award.
you
It's a
very
real
much.
thing.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the kind words, honestly, from all of the people, new Rockstar fans who tweeted at me. That was very nice of you. This will be the last sincere thing I ever said.
He
Buffalo Bills.
defeated Stan Lee for that category, best extra, by giving a rousing speech against the man.
That's right.
But very
I
impressive.
dug up his body, suplexed him back into his coffin, and said, Excelsior!
They handed it to you on the spot out of fear. Just take it. Just take it. Stop ruining this.
Greetings, true believers. Why are you suplexing me?
Tommy, we're gonna miss you in this life and on this plane. At Tommy Bechtold.
That's right.
Great. And then Gino's West.
Gino's East. But I won't be there for 2 weeks, so if you come by, just enjoy some delicious pie and say hi to my friend Guy.
Great.
Fieri?
Yeah, that's right. Because
And
we're
then-
cooking up hot wings in Flavortown.
All right. And then Tommy, you got any more?
No, that's it. We're checking out a sweet little diner in East Hollywood that makes up Indian food. It's all coming up on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
What is my shirt doing to you?
Changing me. It's really holding my breasts in, though. This is nice.
That's why I wear it.
Wow,
Very
reinforcement.
Yeah, right now I'm loose. I got back
Yeah.
problems. They're just down here
You're
right
flopping
now.
right now.
It's, Angelica Trae, where can we find you?
You can find me at Post Malone. Oh wait, sorry.
Spotify.
A Trae on most social media. AYYTRAE, and I'm Angelica Trae.
And also, just for a quick reference, if you like, she does streaming of her life, and it's very fascinating to just watch this girl live her life. So if you want to watch her streams, are they on Twitch?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so and that's A-Trae?
A-Trae.
So, yeah, cool. And then I'm Filup Molina, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and in a child's triple extra large.
Child's?
Well, it's cheaper for you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, children made it, for sure.
Yeah.
Children make everything I own.
Guys, thank you so much for going rogue with us, and also remember to join that Patreon and Discord channel so that you can actually go rogue with us in there, and you'll play the game too. Have a good one.